Do you find that a lot of people moan a lot? That's what bothers me. Do you find they cut to you and whinge? Do they ever talk about all the fun, exciting things? So what I'm doing today, I met up with Kanishka Narayan, who is the MP for the Vale of Glamorgan, and we had a laugh. We were talking about politics, the media. Why did he go into politics? What people are talking to him about here in the constituency, what he's doing about it, and also his plans for the future. We sat down and did the interview at the Tabernacle Church on Holton Road in Barry, which is going to be opening next year as a music venue. Right, first of all, don't sit down. If you got a
no!
Right, Howell, you need to clean this place before you let us, your local MP come in to do an interview. Right, okay. So, how long have you been in the job now here in this part of the world?
Altogether, I think it's been about 14 months.
14 months?
And it's been the best job I've ever done.
Really?
Fulfilling, really impactful, amazing mix of being here in the community, speaking to people every week, and then going to Westminster, trying to represent it as fully as I can. So,
yeah, it's an exciting job. I mean, I would like to kind of understand, it's good for people locally to know more about you, a little bit more about you in terms of why are you passionate about politics? Why did you get into politics?
Yeah, I had such a warm welcome when we moved here from India to Wales, and I felt that everything I really valued in my life came about because so many people in our community right across South Wales, but I grew up in Cardiff, so especially in Cardiff, did so much for my family, for me and my brother, that I wanted to make sure that a huge part of my life's work was to make sure that I was giving back to South Wales.
That's so wonderful, because you've got a pretty fantastic education. You could have gone into lots of different roles, couldn't you? I'm sure you'd have been snapped up. Oxford, you went to Oxford and Stanford and stuff?
Yeah, so I was very fortunate. I grew up in Cardiff, as I said, went to Cathays High School, and then got the biggest, most coincidental opportunity, huge financial support to go and study at Eton. My brother stayed here, and that was actually a pretty defining feature because seeing the difference in opportunity that you get in different parts of the education system in the UK was a big driver of why I'm really passionate about young people having a better shot at opportunity wherever they study. Went to Oxford, did economics, politics, philosophy, wanted to go and work in the civil service. I started my career in the civil service, went to Stanford to study an MBA business and understand how economics worked in the real world outside of government. Then worked in tech for a few years. I felt like that was the future and I wanted to make sure I got an understanding. But honestly, I remember when I left the civil service, I said to people, I'm going to go pick up a bunch of this experience, learn stuff, and then come back in public service in some way because that's what I want to really go and put at the center of my career.
I look at your social media, your Facebook, you're right everywhere. What are people talking about? What's important, do you think, for you? What are you hearing on the ground from people?
Look, there are three pressing things that people keep bringing up. One, just the cost of living is still quite tough for a lot of people and for businesses. Two, I think in particular, we want to make sure that NHS waiting lists come down. There's so many people, especially with an aging population society, we want to make sure we're looking after people. And three, I think people rightly are concerned about making sure that immigration is proportionate and fair. And as I mentioned to you earlier, we just secured 41.5 billion for Barry and the Vale to be spent in ways that people want. And then I'm focused on landing billions of investment. We just had 10 billion in South Wales. It's going to be 5,000 jobs for South Wales for kids growing up. There's going to be an amazing sense of opportunity that you don't have to move away for. You can just stay and do great jobs. And then on the NHS, we've just had record funding for Wales in the history of devolution. And my hope is that that'll be spent on the NHS in a way that'll start to bring relief to people who are waiting on waiting lists for a long time.
Well, that's just fantastic news. That's really, really good. Do you find that a lot of people moan a lot? That's what bothers me. Do you find they cut to you and whinge? Do they ever talk about all the fun, exciting things? So what I'm doing with social media TV, I absolutely love it. There's a wonderful community spirit. You know, the stories that I'm finding are becoming topics of conversation. And I feel there's just a wonderful community here and wonderful things are happening. But I get concerned actually about all the whinging and all the kind of negativity, because it doesn't have to be boring. Do you know what? So people say, oh, do positive uplifting stories, they're so boring. No, it's not at all. It really isn't.
Totally.
You know, people cry. I've had this chap in this Italian restaurant in Penarth, he's crying, talking about his dad. There's a little girl, everyone's trying to find a teddy bear in Penarth. There's stuff, you know, Jake at the health hub, you know, what he's doing in the community. You know, when they went on that walk and everyone was just this wonderful stuff.
Yeah. I watched the video of the Italian restaurant and I saw the Jake video as well. There's some brilliant stuff happening. I don't worry about people ranting a bit. So whenever I start a meeting, I say I want to do it in two sections. The first section is catharsis. So rant, I'll just be a sponge for it. But then the second section is we've got to move from ranting to changing, and that's I think that's the right way to do it, because I want to convey to people that I'm here to listen. I know there are some things that are going wrong. I want to be really open about that and try and work on them. But the way we make our community even better is to recognize all the heroes who are doing great positive things and turn that into some collective change.
And I'm very passionate about the media and the importance of the media, and how it can change society, because it's kind of what we talk about, what we watch.
Yeah.
What do you think of community journalism and news in locally? How important is it, do you think?
It's the most important thing. And it's the most important thing, Anna, because how we engage each other in telling positive and accurate stories of our community is the single biggest determinant of whether we can change our community to make it even better. Because at the moment, people have some legitimate complaints, but there's a huge amount of negativity online, often actually stirred up by people from outside our community. So the more of us from within our community telling real stories of how brilliant people right across Barry, the Vale of Glamorgan are, and how we can make it even better as a community by channeling that in a positive way is the most important thing.
I agree. And I'm very passionate about young people as well. And I think every child deserves to have the opportunity to reach their full potential. Yeah. And, and there's obviously TikTok now. Are you on the TikTok?
I've got a TikTok account. I'm learning my way through it.
It's not just TikTok. TikTok's really interesting because it's content driven, not brand driven. So you can be a small channel, but just a really good video. Yeah. And I think that's given a lot of young people excitement. They're excited about TikTok because you can kind of... This is the thing I wanted to just talk to you about, but just briefly, is this whole thing where you can create content that gets watched by people, especially on TikTok. It could be dancing, it could be jokes, it could be a little drama. They have power now, don't they, young people, in what they share and what they produce, because they're all content creators. You know, my 12-year-old was filming and editing an incredible video.
Wow.
Just taught herself. But that's normal, that's very common.
Yeah.
And then you hope to see from the content creators, of the future, these young people, this opportunity that they've got.
It's absolutely amazing. And the thing I'm really excited about is giving space for young people to, yes, do the things they care about, talking about makeup, talking about sport, talking about entertainment, but also sharing their views on what they want from our community, from our country for the long term. Because I feel like one of the things I'm most passionate about is giving young people a better voice in politics. They have now a channel where they can express it directly.
Yes, they can. So, what an incredible opportunity they've got now to be able to communicate to others, to the world, about what they care about, what they hope for the future. It's an exciting time, I think, in terms of the media. Anyway, very nice to see you
again. Good to see you, Anna.
You've been watching Social Media TV, the fastest growing media channel in South Wales.